Well, my name is Sergio Hernandez. My background, I study architecture. I'm from Venezuela. I study over there. Finishing my career, my studies, I decided that I didn't want to be an architect anymore. So before I finished my degree, about 3 years before, I started working as an apprentice at Cornelis Sitman's studio. He was a Dutch sculptor that lived in Venezuela. So I learned the techniques and mold making, bronze casting, bronze finishing. And so I finished my career, my degree, and I decided to be a sculptor from there on. I moved to Australia in 2013. Since I came here, I worked for different companies working in advertisement as a sculptor. Nowadays, I work for Opera Australia as the sculptor in the department. And that allows me to learn a few new techniques like 3D modeling and other materials, apart from bronze and the traditional way of doing a sculpture. The studio for me is work and living studio. So I have a little studio at my house where I create little maquettes or the basic ideas. If I need to go bigger, I'll say I'm lucky enough to know a lot of people with big studios and I could use them. Depending on the machines or the techniques that I need to use, I could go to different places. Well, I'm incredibly happy that next year I'm going to have a solo exhibition here at the gallery. I'm preparing a new body of work, which at this point I'm investigating and starting doing a few maquettes to test materials and ideas. The inspiration behind the show so far, it's quite complex. I take inspiration in different things, but I think what basically surround us, everybody, it's what's going on with the world and how we deal with it or how we acknowledge what's happening. I used to work a lot in miniatures. From then on, I've been working also to big scale, like public scales. I've did a big piece here in the McClellan Sculpture Park for one of the surveys. It was about 4 meters in diameter by 3 meters tall. And also, one of my latest pieces was a little marble piece that was about 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. So I go from a range of materials to a range of sizes. This piece, it's called I'm Still Here, with flowers. It's a special piece for me because the story is that when my father passed away, the last years he lived in a mountain. So when he passed away, his ashes were scattered in this mountain, in a specific peak. I wasn't able to be there at that time. So what I thought is that I might go back one day there and try to find the spot. And my idea is that I will find this bloom of flowers with the shape of a man, where my father could be. So the idea with this is the flowers are the memories and the teachings and the time that we spend together. So each one is a memory. People seeing my work, I'll be glad if they know the stories behind or the concept behind the piece. But I'll be glad if they feel something, even though it's not exactly what I intended, but definitely to me will be important that the piece is moving you somehow, makes you feel something, makes you think or meditate, maybe meditate on thoughts. I'll be glad if the piece produces that in the spectator.